Hello everybody, we are back here on the Hunter Classic, and today we've got a bunch of highlights from the past couple weeks. Well, I guess it's actually been just the last week, but we've got a lot of really good trophies that we ended up coming across, and the majority of these do not have commentary over them, so we will do them montage style like we did in the last highlights video. And then we got a few towards the end that do have commentary over them, so obviously we'll just let those play out like we would in a normal highlights video. But let's go ahead and get a few trophies for this competition first. Well, actually it's a mission, but we've got the fall missions active now, so we gotta go take ourselves a decently heavy wild boar and pheasant, and then we also gotta go get a mule deer. I already did a few of the other trophies last night off camera, but we will finish it off in this video. Well, we already got a wild boar, so that's a pretty good start right there. Let's hope this ends up being a decent one. I don't remember the exact weight that we need, but I'm hoping that this one will be a pretty heavy boar. It's definitely a male as far as I can tell, so let's hope this thing's heavy enough. So I actually just took a look at what we need. We need a wild boar that weighs 180 kgs. This one maxes out at 120, so this is definitely not going to complete it. But maybe there's some more in the area since we have this one here, and I definitely see one more, so let's hope that one's a little bit bigger. There we go. That is what we are looking for. This should have at least one that's heavy enough, I would imagine. So let's go ahead and spot them all and see if there's any worth taking out. Well, unfortunately, none of those wild boars were large enough, and all of them were females, so we're just gonna try and focus on some of these pheasants and see if any of them are heavy enough. Unfortunately, that one's not got a good enough estimate. What about this little dude? Up to 2.6 kgs, that could potentially be good enough, so I suppose we will try to get that little guy. And of course, he's the one that flies off. Of course. Well, guess we'll have to chase him down. Well, we have finally caught up to this pheasant, so I think it's time to try and get it to flush out. Let me see if I can remember what the button is, although I think most of the time I just run up on them like this anyway, and that always gets them to flush. And oh my gosh. The sensitivity was a little bit rough. I did not expect the frame drops, but we did end up getting it. So that is good. Hopefully this thing will be above 2.5 kgs. It'll have to be on the high end of that estimate in order for it to top it, but I think we could potentially not get it. Well, still a decent pheasant. I mean, 25.8 is not too shabby. And now we got this guy right here. 2.1 to 2.7 kgs. This one's got a little better chance of making it, although the score estimate only goes up to 28, so not as high of a score estimate, but it's got a good weight estimate at least. And just like that, we got him down. So hopefully this one will be the one we needed. And let's see what this little guy is. 2.5, there we go, that's exactly what we needed, and it's actually a 27.1, that's a good pheasant right there. Let's go ahead and get a trophy shot. You know, honestly, that's not too bad there. The lighting is terrible, but there's not really too much I can do about that because of the area that we're in, but we will wait for the sun to fully shine again. And I think that's about as good as it's gonna get right there. We'll see if anything makes it show better. Chroma does once again, but I think we'll go with shadows this time. I like the way that looks as well. Okay, so the pheasant didn't count. I don't know how. I guess maybe it was just barely 2.5 to where it didn't count. I'm confused. I guess we will have to keep looking then. Well, that's a big pheasant right there. That is definitely the one that's going to complete this objective of the mission. That guy, I feel, has no chance of not completing it. Well, we're getting really close to this pheasant now, and it does look like he's hunkering down. I was a little bit afraid that he was just gonna run, because that's what the last few have done, but it looks like he actually is gonna hunker down for us, so we should get to take this guy out. This also does have a chance of being a leaderboard pheasant, so we want to make sure that we get it down with the shotgun while it's airborne. Don't want to risk losing score on it. And just like that, we have took out what is probably one of the biggest pheasants I've seen in months. And I can't see any reason that this would not complete the mission, or I guess the objective for the mission. And yeah, 2.8 kgs and it ends up being a 26.9. It's actually not as big as I was thinking it would be, but it's still a good pheasant. Not bad at all, and that completes the pheasant objective for the fall 2021 Grand Harvest. Honestly, I like the way this trophy shot looks. I think we will move ourselves a little bit. Yeah, I like the way that looks. The lighting's not perfect, but the pheasant died in a pretty good pose, so... Oh my gosh, let's hope our dog... Oh my gosh, dude, perfect. There we go. He's not blinking or sticking his tongue out. That is the one right there. Ooh, there we go. That's actually a pretty good wild boar right there, and I think it's actually going to complete the mission. So if we can, and of course he goes over the hill before we can get a shot. Let's try to call it in if we can. There he is. There's that giant. What a beautiful wild boar. That thing is just amazing. I'm actually pretty excited to get this down because that's probably going to be a pretty high scoring one, honestly. Let's just let it spot this to make sure that's it. Okay, that's definitely not it, so that means it's the one right there. I just don't want to accidentally shoot the wrong one, so I wanted to make sure. We'll let this thing get out in the open just a little bit more. Here we go. Let's get this guy down if we can. And not the greatest shot in the world, but that should take him down for sure. Yeah, that is a beautiful wild boar. What a giant. Let's go ahead and claim that. 206 kgs and a whopping 1118 score. What a beauty. So that is definitely one of the best wild boar I've killed in a long time. And let me real quickly check the scores for leaderboards after we trophy shot him. Let's actually do that because these things are impossible to position the way that I'd like him to be positioned. So we'll just do the trophy pose, and let's actually see which one of these is going to be the best. So I think this right here is going to be a pretty good trophy shot to go with. And once again, that is a beautiful wild boar. Well, we got a mule deer already. I don't think this is going to be big enough to complete the final objective of the mission, but we do need to get it down just in case there's some more in the area, which there probably is. And yeah, it's only an 80 kg mule deer. I believe we need 120 kgs in order to complete this last objective. Oh my gosh, this is more does than I've ever seen before. Oh my gosh. That is so many mule does. And there's a mule deer buck somewhere because I got a call from him. That's the only reason I've actually come in this direction. It says that he should be that way. There he is right there. So that's our mule buck. Is he going to be heavy enough? I doubt it, but you never know. No, he's definitely not going to be heavy enough. So that's kind of unfortunate. But oh my gosh, there's just so many mule deer does near us. I did not expect this when I came over here to this call, but I guess we will try to get this guy. If not, it's not that big of a deal. He won't complete it anyways. Well, that works. And then as for all of you, y'all can just continue on your day. Well, there's one of the bucks right there, and in fact, I think that's honestly going to be big enough. Let's just go ahead and blast that guy, even though it's not the big one that we were after. It's still a pretty decent one, and it definitely will complete this, I would say. There we go, we got him down. Let's hope this thing actually does complete it, otherwise I just scared everything off in the area that probably could have completed it. There we go, there's our little mule deer buck, and oh my gosh, that sticker is huge. This one actually has a little bit of character, and it is 119 kgs, so that will complete it. We have finally completed the 2021 fall mission with a pretty cool looking buck, honestly. That drop time is nice. Alright, let's just go with that, I guess. That is a pretty good looking buck. I like that drop time a lot. And that will complete the fall 2021 mission. So I believe we get like a free tent out of that, which is pretty awesome. A free tent, 3,000 gems, and then something else that I forgot, but it's a great mission to complete. If you guys have not already tried to complete it, I highly recommend it. It is limited time. You only have like a week to do it, so get in on it while you can. It's basically a free tent and a free 3,000 gems. I mean, how can you pass that up, to be honest? But anyway, now that we have got that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into all of the highlights that we have from this past week. We've got some really awesome trophies, especially one in particular that I'm really happy we got, and that is a 400 plus Rocky Mountain elk. So without further ado, let's jump straight into all of the awesome highlights. That right there is an absolutely huge elk, guys. Oh my gosh. Look at that giant. Wow. What a beauty. What a beauty. Look at the size of that thing. My gosh, that's a big elk. The tines on that side are not looking great, though. Look at how short all of them are. One side is really good, the other side is terrible. The one time I needed to stay in that seat, I moved. There we go, he's down. Oh my gosh, I don't even care that the other's spooked. That's a big one right there. That's the biggest Roosevelt I've killed in months. Let's try to pick up the others first. Alright, let's see how big he is. I'd say it's definitely not 400 plus, probably like 370, maybe? Okay, grab the female. Now it's just him left. I want to get in the light pretty good. Come on. 358. I think those back tines are what killed it. Because honestly, the length of those back tines was atrocious on that one side. You know, oddly enough, the shadows one kind of shows the rack off the best. I feel like the shadows really makes it stand out for some reason. I guess we'll go with that. That looks pretty good. Not a bad elk. 305 to 390. Not bad. We've been finding some good elk today. No! There he is. I think that's him. Yep, that's him right there. Oh gosh, that is a decent bull. Really decent. We got him. There we go. Oh man. We got him down finally. That took way longer than I would have wanted it to. All because that shot on the blacktail didn't connect the way that I wanted it to. I still think that should have connected, but it just didn't. Oh, that's better than the last one for sure. This guy's actually got decent tines, but although I think it's only got 2 back tines. This one actually might be similar to the last one just because it's missing a 3rd back tine. I think the other side only has 1 back tine. 340, yeah. It's actually worse than the last one. We did complete a mission though. We'll go with the chroma for this one because we're in the shadows. I find the chroma is the perfect filter for when you're in the shadows. It really makes things pop out a little bit better. Alright, so I am currently trying to complete the daily mission, which is to spot a female bobcat, and I just spotted something quite a bit better than a female bobcat. That is a 140 to 185 estimate whitetail buck. It does seem to be a 7x7 as far as I can tell. We'll probably get a closer look at that at some point, but I do believe it's a 7x7, but we definitely got to take this monster down, because this very well could be a pretty good sized buck. And yeah, after counting, this is definitely a 7x7, so it's probably going to be 170s. It does have a chance of hitting 180s, but I think with the way it's looking, it's probably going to be a 170s buck, which honestly is not too bad. Oh, and even better, we got ourselves a bobcat right there. If it's a female, we will complete this mission, and it is a female, so that is absolutely perfect. I think this is about as good as things could have possibly gone. We got our female bobcat, and we also have a giant buck in front of us. So let's just try and get this buck right here. Let's make sure we have our scent eliminator on, and we do. Let's try to take this guy out right here. That is going to be good there. Now we just gotta wait for this buck to come in, and we also have some does that are around here as well, which is not ideal. I would have preferred they just stay back, but unfortunately, because I called in the bucks, these guys came along as well. But I think we can get this buck down relatively soon. Man, that is just a beautiful sight. It honestly never gets old seeing a giant whitetail buck come in here on the Hunter Classic. Let's see if we can get a shot in there. And just like that, he's down. Yeah, that is a beautiful buck right there. Let's go ahead and see what this guy scores. I'm guessing 175. And it's a 180.3. That is a beautiful whitetail deer. Absolutely beautiful. Let's just lift his head up, and then honestly, that should be good enough for a trophy shot right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So let's just get our bow out and see if we can get the deer hunter pose to work. I think this is probably... never mind, it's definitely not going to work the way I was hoping it would. However, we could maybe do it like that. Honestly, that looks pretty good. I like it. We'll go with that, although we're going to wait for the sun to come back. You know, honestly, I like the look of this right here. I think that actually looks pretty awesome. And finally, the light is back, so we can go ahead and snap this photo right here. That is a beautiful buck. Let's see if any of the filters look good. You know, actually, the chroma looks amazing for this one. We're going to go ahead and do that. That's a beautiful buck. Well, we've got in front of us a pretty good-sized red deer. That is honestly a beautiful stag. I'm not great at telling whether or not it's going to be a 240s, 260s, 270s, or a 280s. It's very difficult for me to tell, but I'm sure one of these days we'll get to that point where we can know. But this guy does have a pretty good estimate, clear up to 285. We definitely need to level up our spotting a bit more on the red deer though, so that we can tell a little more accurately. But anyway, today we are going to take this thing out with the 308 engraved. I finally was able to obtain this thing. I've been trying to get it for quite a long time, and we finally have it. This is one of the rewards for referring a friend and have them use your referral link. And it is such a beautiful rifle. I've been wanting it for so long, and I'm so happy that we finally got it. Now, let's just see if we can get this red deer. It doesn't seem to be interested in the call, so I'm guessing we've spooked it before. And that looked to be a solid hit, honestly. I think that thing's gonna go down. And that definitely was a vital hit on this giant red stag. I'm super excited to see if this guy's gonna break 270. I've been trying to get myself a 270 plus again for quite a while. I've only killed one of them, and it scored like 274, so let's hope this is one of them. It definitely looks bigger than the 240 stags I've killed, so fingers crossed this is as big as I think it is. It's looking like it, and that's a 268. I think this is my second biggest red deer ever. That's crazy, and we were able to take it out with the 308 engraved. That is super awesome. Oh my gosh, yes, this is the one right here. Oh, yep, that's it. It's not the most, like, I guess, serious looking trophy shot, but considering this isn't a 270 plus, I'm not too worried about that. I kind of like this, like, a lot. I think that's really cool. Let's go with chroma, because that actually makes the antler stand out a little bit better on the other side since the tree is kind of there, but I like that. That is absolutely hilarious. Okay, so we are in the exact same session that we just killed that 268 red deer in, and we've got something else really, really cool up here, and it's not this guy. Although this is a pretty good-looking red stag, it's not what we are interested in because there is a piebald cow right there. I haven't seen one of these in quite a while, but the last time that I did was actually here on Valdavoy, and I think I got it in roughly the same area now that I think of it. I believe I took it off of a rock right here. Yeah, in fact, that is the rock that I shot it from quite a while ago. I think at this point it's been like 4 or 5 years, but we do have another one up here finally, and that is super cool. I'm excited that we are finally going to be able to take out another one. I would have preferred it to be a stag, but honestly, I'm just happy we got ourselves a rare red deer, and oh my, that is a pathetic red deer. But I think so that we don't let this thing get away, let's go ahead and just take it with the 308, and then we'll also try to take that stag as well, but this is definitely our priority. You know, honestly, this looks pretty good. I think we're just gonna go with this trophy shot right here. And wow, we actually ended up hitting her in the nose. I did not know that. I'm curious how that even happened. But I mean, can't complain, it still got her regardless. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Go ahead and hit like if you haven't already, because it is one of the most important things when it comes to helping these videos do as well as they can and allowing them to get into YouTube's algorithm, and it really does help the channel out a lot. I really do appreciate every single one of you that like the videos, but with that being said, if you're brand new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, click the like button, and ring that notification bell. Also, be sure to leave a comment down below on what type of hunts you would like to see here on the Hunter Classic, or if you would like to see something else on a different game. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace!